What did you make of what you saw on Sunday in Detroit?
Oh, boy. So this is a problem when I come on Thursday because
Right.
I've turned the page already.
You rebounded. You're Dennis Allen.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I've rebounded. I have a take I'm gonna drop on you guys in a minute after we talk about Sunday. Sunday was a joke. The team quit. The team quit at halftime. I know that call was bad, but it just felt like a lot of last year where there was just no fight, and this defense is so bad. I mean, think about this. We're 2 weeks into the season, and the NFC Offensive Player of the Week has just been whoever plays the Bears. It was J.J. McCarthy week 1, and it was Jared Goff week 2.
Yeah.
And that was like Jared Goff had no resistance, didn't get sacked.
Dak Prescott, come on down.
Yeah, right. So that's who's going to be the NFC Offensive Player next week. But yeah, it was demoralizing because I thought we all thought it was going to be a bounce back game. And here's the only positive. I don't know what your guys' take was, but I said right after, Caleb was not the main problem.
Yeah.
Yes, was he not great? Like there was moments that the interception was bad, but I thought he was throwing the ball with more confidence, some zip. The game kind of fell apart. No quarterback's going to win when the other team, when your defense gives up 52. So I guess that would be a positive there. But, man, was that bad. It felt like last time in Detroit on Thanksgiving, where it's just like you walk away and saying, what did I just watch?
I think for the most part, because there are still some, I know Colin still really is all, got a big thing for Caleb these days. For the most part, the national media has recognized that Caleb wasn't the problem in week 2 and that maybe he is indeed developing in front of us.
Yeah. I think that's fair to say. Like I said, the interception was bad. I was getting criticized because I did say last week I wouldn't hate it if he threw some more interceptions, but not that type of interception.
Yes.
My interceptions are the ones where you're taking a shot downfield and you're giving your guy a chance, and if it gets intercepted, okay, I can live with it. That one he should have just thrown it out of bounds. But yeah, I thought he had more confidence. I mean, the offensive line had a bad game. I think the narrative coming out of this week was Ryan Poles, like, how are we in year 4 of a rebuild and we're somehow as bad, if not worse, than we were 4 years ago, which is crazy to say, but it's like you had 2 of your draft picks, your second rounders not play. How's that possible?
Well, they weren't in. Not only did they not play, they weren't even in uniform. They were healthy scratches.
Right. Like those are the picks that have to be like if you're going to succeed in the NFL, you have to hit on your first 2 rounds, and they have to be immediate impact guys. They're not going to be Pro Bowlers right away, which Ryan Poles hasn't drafted a Pro Bowler.
Not one.
So yeah, I think that's really the situation. I think we all feel ourselves in is like, how are we back here? Like this makes no sense. Waddle, you said you had that great rant on the stretch before the season. Like, hey, this is year 4.
Yeah.
This isn't a rebuild. This is not the Jets who got Aaron Glenn and they're rebuilding and they don't have their like. This is the time that you got to start putting some actual wins on the field. And this is also why all summer long we preach, I'm not going to believe anything until I see it on the field. And I feel vindicated in that because I did not get myself too excited because I knew this was obviously a possibility.
Hopefully they win this game, take some pressure off themselves. They win a winnable game in Vegas, and they're 2-2 at the bye. But, Big Cat, if this does become a 4, a 5, a 6-win team, and that's it, and the draft doesn't look any better, what do you do about a guy that you just gave a new contract to going into year 5 and expecting it to get better?
You got it. I mean, you can't let him do another draft. No. You can't. You got to let Ben Johnson take it. Let Ben Johnson have the keys and be like, "Hey, it's your team."
I love Ben. I don't know if he's qualified to do this either.
That's an interesting point.
Someone who knows how personnel. Ben can coach.
But what's the worst? What's the worst that could happen? We end up at the exact same spot that we're in.
Well, here's the deal. Listen, I was one that also thought that bringing Ben in would serve several purposes, not just a dual purpose, because he comes from Detroit where he knows what a good offensive lineman looks like. He knows what good talent looks like because he was in the huddle with these guys. How much impact or influence did he have in this draft? Now, again, I think it's way too early to come to any long-term conclusions about, people already want to say, well, they missed on Loveland and Ty Warren and Indianapolis is the better player. How the hell can you even make that determination at this point? I can't. And then Burton hasn't played much either. Those guys may turn out to be fantastic players. But how much input did he have on Ozzie Trapillo or some of the other guys? Like, if, in fact, he has a loud voice, and we find out that those guys aren't difference makers either, then part of that he has to wear, too. You just don't know how much impact he had early on.
Of course, and it's really like the process is what drives me insane.
Yes.
We've drafted so much on the offensive side of the ball. We've had pass rush issues for years and years. We've had offensive line issues for years and years, and it's like, oh, here's another shiny toy on the outside. Okay, you can't block anyone. You can't rush the passer.
Yes.
It drives you insane. And now Jalen Johnson's out, who's our best player. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy that we're here.
Yeah, 2 weeks. 2 weeks and, the worst possible things have happened. You choked one game, you got blown out in another, and then your best player is out.
And on top of all that, I don't know if you guys went through the same thing that I went through on Sunday. I was as down could be. And then I found a new depth when I saw the Vikings stink.
Yes, right. You're watching Sunday Night Football, and you're like, oh, you mean maybe he isn't that good? And the first 3 quarters were more representative, but we gave up 3 touchdowns.
Right.
And now Atlanta, the team that we made fun of, by the way. Remember Ryan Poles in the draft room when, oh, my goodness, they're taking Penix? That means Rome's going to be left for us?
Right.
How dumb can the Falcons be? And now the Falcons are what, 2-0?
They're 1-1. They're 1-1. They blew that game to the Bucks.
That's
it's
right.
all right. You're not a league-wide guy. It's fine.
Oh, stop it.
I'm just kidding. I've done that like 3 times today where I've said a team's 0-2 or 1-1, and I just have not been able to keep track. All right. Are you guys ready to turn the page?
Yeah, let's turn the page.
All right. Sunday at Soldier Field is what I like to call a gateway game. Okay? Hold on. I'm not going to tell you that the Bears are going to win this game because I don't know how we're going to stop the Cowboys. Yeah. I really don't. How are we going to stop the Cowboys? No clue. This could be an absolute shootout. No clue. But if the Bears come away with a win on Sunday, you ready for this?
Oh, you got a bunch of wins coming up?
Don't be shocked if they're 5-4 or 6-3.
Sing it to me, man.
Jesus,
Sing it to
don't
me.
Be
one
shocked
side
if
to
they're
the
5-4
other.
Yeah, he careens off guardrails.
This is why you got to get me on Mondays, not Thursdays, because I've turned the page. I crunched the numbers. I'm just saying, remember who told you, if they win, they have to win on Sunday, because if they lose on Sunday, I think I'm full on, this season's cooked, all that matters is Caleb Williams is good, screw everything.
So the Cowboys game, Sunday, you're telling me the Cowboys game
gateway game
controls the entire season. It could go if they lose.
Gateway game.
If they lose, you're predicting a 3-win season.
It's a gateway to hell.
They're going to be 5-4.
Gateway to heaven.
Or 6-3.
It's a gateway to heaven or a gateway to hell. You choose.
We'll find out. Yeah. They win this game. Don't be shocked. 5-4, 6-3 is on the table. But if they lose, don't even play the rest of the season.
On a brighter note, are you?
You're not buying it? Wait.
Yeah, I mean,
here's what I want to know from you. You've been the essence all offseason, Waddle. I'm asking Waddle on this. Waddle has continually said it's the expectations. You mentioned it on your show, Big Cat, that he came on. And he has said that 9 wins, these are my expectations. Take the over because of this and that. You had them with 9.
Yeah.
If you had to pick a win total today, your life depended on this win total.
My life depended on it?
Your life depends on this win total. How many wins would you predict for the Bears now?
Not 9. Not 9. Because it's not that they're 0-2. It's how they've lost. That's what sticks with me.
How many?
Probably 7. And by the way, as I've also said to you, that's not good enough. That doesn't meet expectations. My expectations don't mean Jack Diddley squat. But their expectations up at Hallis Hall should be higher than that. Look at what you've invested in the coach, the quarterback, all of the resources on the flank with tight ends and wide receivers. You spent $80 million guaranteed upgrading the interior of your offensive line. You spent $33 million on Dio. You spent $29 million on Grady Jarrett. You spent a second-round pick on Dexter. You spent a second-round pick and $100 million on Sweat. Like, you tell me 7 wins is good enough. It's not.
It's not.
And if that's what happens, the decisions you made, the money you spent, the draft picks you used, they weren't used properly. How can you go forward with the same process? You can't.
Agreed.
You can't.
Agreed. No, you can't. You want to ask me the win total question?
Yeah, go ahead. Well, I mean, you go from 4 to 10 in a blink of an eye.
All right, here's the answer. If they win on Sunday, they're a 12-win team. If they lose on Sunday, I think they win 2 games. It's a gateway game, boys.
Yes.
Nothing.
That is truly
for Sunday in football.
That's truly a gateway to heaven or hell.
Yeah.
Again.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
How about just something more meaningful?
What do you mean?
Well, something that's more likely, or something that I think has.
You don't think he's dealing
No,
in
I don't think.
reality?
Serious.
No,
All right, so they probably won't win 12 games, but I'm being dead serious that if they can win Sunday, I really do think they could be a 5-4 team.
Okay, now I won't dispute that. I think if they win Sunday and how they win can also lead to me feeling better about the team. If they lose and how they lose, it could be a gateway to an even bigger disaster. So I understand the gateway concept. I just can't go from 2 wins to 15 wins.
Do you know when I was thinking, Big Cat, when Waddle was saying 7 wins, that he would pick 7 wins? And maybe shame on me because Waddle's whole presentation was it's not good enough. And I agree. 7 wins in totality isn't
Totally
good
not
enough. But knowing the way they did start, choking a game at home and then giving up 52 points, I was calculating in my head. I'm like, okay, if they win 7 then this year, that means they go 7-8 the rest of the way. If this team goes 7-8 the rest of the way, I think I'd be happy. I think I'd be happy with that.
No. My prediction before the season was 7 wins. So I would be happy with 7 wins if Caleb looks good. Because I do think there's a world where if they go 7-9 and Caleb looks good and progresses, I think you feel like you have something going forward. But, yeah, I mean, this is a huge game. I know that maybe it's just me trying to pump myself up, but it does feel like the wheels are close to falling off, and I don't know. It's the defense, which is so crazy because that was, like, and I don't want to go so far to say – I'm sorry to Matt Eberflus, but the defense didn't look like they did yet on Sunday with Matt Eberflus coaching.
Let me ask you guys both a question. If you'd be happy with them winning 7 games and they got to 7 games, based on all that we've talked about, all you've seen happen over the course of time, what makes you believe that down the line it's going to get significantly better? Because if you go from 5 wins to 7 wins, you basically pooped your shorts at least 3 times last year in games.
And I had them winning 8. And they lost a game that I picked them to win. And it was more than just 1 game in my book, so I wouldn't probably predict 7. But I'm saying that if they go 7-8 from the way they've looked, to me, it could be a lot worse.
So, but from that point forward, you're believing in the way they do business that's going to take you from 7 to what in the following years?
No, I don't believe. Like as long as Ryan Poles is acquiring the players, they're in trouble.
So 7 would probably be the high water mark.
Yeah, okay. 7-8,
and that's sad.
I was at 8-9 before.
Yes,
they've lost 2. I'm at 7-8.
Yeah. I mean, it hasn't been good. Hasn't been a good start.
All right, let's go.
I was going to ask him who's he giving the ball to in Game 1 of the playoffs.
Cade Horton. I've been saying it for a month. Cade Horton.
Yes,
and I think you guys. I saw our good friend Jesse Rogers in the locker room on Friday when I was with Fox doing a little B-roll, and he pulled me aside. He's like, "Hey, you got to get Waddle and Silvy to realize it's Cade Horton." I was like, "I've been saying it for a month." And they don't listen to me.
That's not true. Because we did buy in. First of all, I got a text from somebody in that clubhouse saying that Matt Leinart was going up and talking to our starting pitcher that day. That's a no-no.
Yeah, that is a no-no. It also kind of hurt me, made me feel a little old because it was just all like I talked to some of the players, but it was way more of the beat writers coming up to me. I was like, dang, I guess I've lost the juice.
Yeah.
But I think it's Cade Horton. I do. I'm excited for playoff baseball. I'm excited. I'm going to go to every game in the wild card round. I think we're going to get those like afternoon games, which are so those are the best.
You think we're going to get an afternoon game, even though the Cubs draw and the Padres are on the West Coast?
Well, it's going to be the Dodgers. If you obviously you don't know because there's still some playoff season to go. But if you did it right now, the Dodgers would be playing at home, so that would be a late
That'd be the late night game.
And I think the Yankees would probably get the prime time.
That's interesting.
So we'd be like the 3 o'clock, which I love. I think that is the magical time. That Cardinals series in 2015, those two games were afternoon games, like sun setting, just beautiful. So I'm rooting for that. I think that would be how it would shake out, unless you disagree.
Well, the only reason I disagree is I don't want to be working while the Cubs are playing. I don't want to have to be I don't want to be all hands on deck. I'd like to go to a game too.
I'll tell you right now. You skip and you can sit with me. Skip.
Take a day off.
You can't skip when in the middle of a postseason series. You can't skip a shot.
It's happened here before, hasn't it?
During the postseason?
Say you're sick. Yeah, say you're sick.
Say I'm sick, and then get shown on television.
Hey, can I ask you guys?
To me. Yeah.
Can I ask you both a weird question, completely off topic? I'm looking at a picture on my screen. Has Tom Brady become less handsome as years have gone by?
It's the plastic surgery. Once you start it, you can't stop it.
I mean, look at this picture, Silvy, right here. Tom has always looked. Maybe it's just a bad picture.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
You know what I mean? Like
what I would give to look like Tom Brady.
I get it, but he was.
No, Silvy, you look great.
No, not like Tom Brady.
You look great.
Do you know Waddle went through this awkward stage when he was Brady's age too. When he started looking, he grew out his hair. He looked like Ellen DeGeneres, and a lot of people were saying the same thing about him. He's just. Look, when you get older, Waddle, as you know, it's not easy.
Big Cat, have you met my partner, George Clooney? Have you met him?
Listen,
next to him every day.
Once you start doing plastic surgery, I don't think you can stop. I think you got to keep doing touch-ups. The people in Hollywood who you can just tell, they just keep doing it.
I think he was. I think he was majestically handsome. And he's still handsome, but I think the handsome factor, the quotient has gone down a little.
How close to 50 is he? I bet he's getting close to 50.
He's probably on the other side of 45, isn't he? So he's closer to 50 than 40? Probably, is he 46, something like that?
I know, Big Cat, to what you're saying, I never understood this. More power to do whatever people want to do. If you feel better about yourself by getting a surgery.
Sure.
But I've always thought the same thing, Big Cat. I don't get the people. I've always thought the people who've gotten the plastic surgery look worse after the plastic surgery than they did before the plastic surgery.
They look AI.
Yeah.
Can we talk about Rizzo's day? That was awesome.
Yes. Were you there?
Oh, I was not. I went to his party on Saturday night, which was also awesome. First of all, I can't believe it's been almost 10 years. But the fact that home run ball went right at him is you can't script that. It's incredible.
It was so good. Tell Waddle the story. And I was blown away watching this. Rizzo with you. When he was talking about the one day at Stanley's. Waddle's been there for live karaoke, too, at Stanley's back in the day. But the way he remembered vividly, when you were asking him, I think the question was, where does your mind go to during some of the great times? And then sure enough, it was a moment, based off of what happened, that he spent with you and many other people. Tell Waddle about that.
Yeah. It was and I remember this series because I went to every single one of these games. It was 2015. It was when the Giants, who were good, because the Giants, remember, they won World Series, 3 out of 6 years or whatever it was in that stretch. The Giants came to Wrigley. It was August, and the Cubs swept them in a 4-game series. And that was the time. That was officially this team is, because remember going into 2015, it was they're a year away. That was when it was this team is real right now. And then I was lucky enough to go to Stanley's. I lived right down the street, and they had the live band karaoke. and it was me, Theo, and Rizzo singing, I think, AC/DC. I'm so mad at myself. I forgot about this happening because it's so long ago, and it's like I had to like remind myself, like, oh yeah, that was awesome. And it just doesn't it feel so weird thinking about like that this is almost 10 years now? It's bizarre to me.
It's so
like
long
another
ago.
life.
And you know what else is weird about it, Big Cat, that I was thinking about? Like, how many teams have a general manager that's cool and young enough at the time to hang with the players, and the players wouldn't be like, all right, old man, get away from us. That Theo was able to do that with his players, too.
I saw it. Was Jed getting in the mix a little bit yesterday? I think he was, right?
Yeah. And I love that they had a good time. Like, let it all hang out. You guys deserve it.
Oh, I'm a big believer because people come out of the woodworks this time of year where they criticize baseball teams for celebrating every step. Celebrate every step. It's the longest season. Like, wild card, if you win the wild card round, if you win the DS, I don't care. Celebrate every step. How are you feeling overall, though, Silvy, going into the playoffs? Because I know this has been a weird year, roller coaster year, where it's like we've been down at times, we've been up at times. But I got to say, like, once I know that we knew they were going to clinch, but once they clinch, it, like, kind of set in, like, hey, chip in a chair. Like, you don't know. Like, you don't know what could happen. Anything could happen. You get a shot at it.
They could get swept or they can go to the World Series. Like, everything else in between, I think, is a possibility. You got to establish a closer. I don't know who's going to close out playoff games for them. You got to get Tucker healthy, and PCA's got to hit at some level where he can't be an offer or like a non. He's got to be a very good player in the postseason. But you know what? It starts with where you were mentioning, Big Cat, that now all of a sudden it looks like they've got a player, even though he's a rookie and he's never been in a postseason game, that could get them through 6 scoreless innings to help the cause.
He's a shutdown guy. He's the ace. When we had the whole Shota conversation, it was like not no offense to Shota, but it wasn't. I've never felt like he's that top of the line ace, and now Cade Horton has been that, and it does just change your confidence meter because you're like, we got a guy who we can send out game one, and we know that if we can we can scratch out 1 or 2 runs, we got a shot to win this game.
Yep. All right, Big Cat, great stuff. I appreciate it. Waddle appreciates it. And 12 wins for the Bears after this win against the Cowboys.
Amen.
Just keep telling yourself, boys, gateway game. Gateway game.
When the Bears win, everyone that needs to trend on Sunday. Gateway game.
I'm just telling you, when the Bears, or if the Bears win on Sunday, don't be shocked. When we're 5-4, don't be shocked.
It's like a gateway drug.
That's right.
Yeah, that is true. That is exactly what I'm saying.
All right, Big Cat, great stuff.
See you, buddy.
There he is. Every Wednesday normally, but today a little later because we had the white.